Welcome to AmdiVibes, where today we are doing something different, something we have never done on this channel before. We are telling a story that never happened, and that is completely true. This is the first AmdiVibes parable, a fictional tale, original characters, an invented world, but carrying underneath every sentence a real, lived, universal human truth that I believe every person watching this has encountered in some form. Listen carefully, because sometimes the truest things arrive dressed as fiction. There was once a fisherman named Kofi. He lived at the edge of a village where the river met the sea. Not the beginning, at the heart, the exact place where they become each other. Kofi had fished this place his entire life, his father and grandfather before him. He knew every current, sandbank, and shift in the water's color. He knew this water the way you know your own name, which is why what happened on the last day of the dry season was so bewildering. He pulled in his net at dawn, the time the water gives most freely, and the net was heavy, heavier than he had ever felt it. The net resisted. It was not the dead weight of a full catch. It was something with intention, something choosing to be caught. He dragged the net onto the bank, and inside, it was something he had no name for. It was the size of a large stone, glowing inconsistently with a light that was neither fire nor moonlight. It pulsed slowly, like something breathing. Kofi sat back and looked at it. 4 generations of fishing teaches a family patience. You learn that the water will tell you what it holds. So he was quiet, and he listened. The thing in his net did not speak. But Kofi felt something that he also had no name for. Not fear, though fear was there. Not excitement, though that was present too. Something larger, like standing at a decision that would define his life. He wrapped the thing in his fishing cloth and carried it home. For 3 days, Kofi kept the thing in a clay pot in his house. He told no one, not his wife Abena, his friend Quena, the village elder. He told no one because he did not know what it was. His grandfather taught him, you do not describe a thing before you understand it, because the words you use become the prison it lives in. Call it a stone, and it becomes a stone. Call it a spirit, and it becomes a spirit. Call it treasure, and it becomes treasure. On the 2nd day, he brought it outside at night and held it under the stars. It seemed like the thing might want to see the sky. On the 3rd day, Abena came into the room. She stopped when she saw it. She did not ask what it was. She asked, how long? She sat beside him. She did not touch it. She simply sat with him the way you sit beside someone facing something difficult. After a long silence, she said, what does it want from you? And Kofi realized that this was the question he had been unable to ask. He went back to the river that evening. He sat on the root of the old iroko tree, the tree his grandfather called the tree that cannot decide. He held the thing in his lap, and for the first time, he allowed himself to feel what being in its presence actually did to him. It made him want to be better, not because of shame, but the way love makes you want to be better. An expanding, generous wanting. Keeping it meant protecting it from those who would sell it, or lock it in ceremony, or put it in a book and end it. Throwing it back meant release. Returning to the life he knew, the clean, comprehensible life of the man who knew this water. And then he understood. The question was not keep it or throw it back. The question was, what kind of man do you want to be? The man who releases what he cannot name because of discomfort, or the man who holds it because some things are worth carrying before understanding. He walked to the water's edge. He knelt. He held the thing beneath the surface, feeling the current move around his hands. He let the river decide. If the current took it, it was the river's. If it stayed in his hands, it was his. He held his hands open. The thing stayed. He lifted it from the water, dried it on his cloth, carried it home, and told Abena everything. What does the story of Kofi teach us? It teaches us that the most important decisions are rarely between the obvious options. He was actually deciding between 2 versions of himself. The self that needs to understand first, and the self that trusts the value of the holding. Most of us have caught something we could not name. A calling, a relationship, a creative impulse, or a direction with no category. The world will have people who want to sell it, or name it, before it has shown you what it is. None of them are carrying it. You are. And the carrying, the willingness to hold what you cannot yet name, the carrying is the thing, not the destination, not the name. When you have held it long enough, when you have knelt at the edge with open hands, you will know if it is yours. The river always tells you. Here at AmdiVibes, we tell these stories because the truest things sometimes arrive dressed as fiction. Subscribe for more stories. See you in the next one.